All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Sir. Sir.
Yay!
There you are. Thank you, sir. All right. Cereal and Grape Juice. I am Nairby, all tumbled the world. It's time for another phenomenal episode of Tuning with Nairby here on Cereal and Grape Juice, the YouTube channel.
Yay!
Thank you, sir. All right. Had a fun conversation with the general manager just before the end of my shift today. So, yeah. So my brain is in different states, not states. You know, you see, let me just say this. I've been with the place that I work at for 30 years. And because of that, I can basically speak my mind and be honest and have no worries. And that's what happened today. So anyway, no, sorry, integrity. I mean, bloody hell, that discussion was about 15 minutes, was the most talking I've done at work in a long time in one day. So yeah, I wrote stuff down of things that I need for the Brainstorm finale. So here we go. Let's check shit out. I was gonna play one of the free domain movies instead of my amazing music while I listen to copywritten music, but we'll see. So I wrote it out. So here's, this list is most likely because I wrote a little more of the. So where are we at now? I was thinking today while writing this out. Like, I remember when the final Harry Potter movie was split into two parts, just like the Hunger Games did, the final movie. And a lot of people were like, "What the fuck?" Well, right now the finale that I decided was going to be one long episode, it's like maybe it should be 2 episodes, but no, even if it's 10 minutes, dude. Okay, so where are we at there? It's like I had to split it up, because I thought of stuff and then wrote it on other pages, so they'll be inserted into earlier writing. So it's complicated for you, unless you're a writer. You know what I'm talking about. So where are we at? 1, 2, 3. Baller and Cracker enter. Mullet says that, and Bullet, man, they introduce themselves and. So where are we? Where did we finish at? So we're at the part where Gus, Sergeant Gus, member of the Super Duper Cops, for those who've been watching, Gus is the one with the thing strapped to him. We are at the part where it's about to be revealed that the entire time it's just been a radio. So that's where we're at there. But so here's the list as we're almost 6 minutes in. Well, 4 technically, because I was starting sooning for 2 minutes. So we have the Stormtrooper one I want to finish. Thrillcore, a few more homages. Jin hasn't said anything. Maybe I thought of one other one today, but I forgot what it was. But I'll remember it eventually, I'm sure. But yeah, the Brainstorm Confessional logo, but that will require the Brainstorm Finale logo to be made. A 3D printer. So I need to see, just Google or whatever, a picture what these things basically look like, because I have no idea. I've never seen one. I've heard about them, and apparently they can print out like how? Okay, but okay. I've never looked into it because, like, why do I need a 3D printer? What am I going to do? Print out a person? I wonder if anyone's tried that. Surely they have. We're humans. We do that shit. A better looking outside environment for the Thrill Core's big return. More work on the Booby and Portal. The Bad Guys animation. And luggage for Mama Land. So we're going to work on luggage right now. Well, you know, I'm thinking maybe play a. Anyway. Play a free domain. I should have set it up anyway. What you gonna do? Okay, play the music. Okay. All right, leave the memories alone. That's what I'm listening to. Right. So Mama Landon, some luggage. So she is going to arrive in the finale during the epic final battle. Okay, and she's going to arrive, and what does she? Well, she needs luggage. So create some luggage. I guess it should be two. Well, yeah, two separates. So call suit. I'm call it luggage. Wait, that's fine. Leave the memories alone. Leave them alone. Not that, a vector. In my memorize. Yeah, I was introduced to this song. Well, you're not hearing it, but I am. I was introduced to this song, Leave the Memories Alone, by whoever. I don't know. When they played it on the night after Ric Flair's retirement match loss at WrestleMania. Leave the memories alone. Yep. Yeah, Flair's last match in 2000 and what was that? 14? No, 8. 2008. And then he wrestled a couple times more. Leave the memories alone. Okay, let's first make our little box or something. Used to be, right? What kind of luggage would Mama Landon have? Right, let's bring her on over. Copy. All right, Mama Landon, would you like to go shopping for luggage? Oh, I'd love to. Oh, look, I'm so happy to be here. All right, no, she needs to go bottom layer. There we go. Okay. Hey, with luggage, so she's gonna be Scottish and she's old. Let's what are you doing? I know what to do. We'll do this. Make that part, you know, good old, or can we just copy from here? Feel the power. All right. And then do this. Leave the memories alone. Stop. I want to be, it needs to be a perfect square. Right. Hey, what are you doing with them memories? Leave them alone. 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 That's what I heard when I lived there in 92 for a year. Kid was getting picked on by 2 other kids, and a dude across the street was seeing it and yelled out, "Leave him alone." I was like, "Yeah, leave him alone." But I didn't say nothing because, you know, I was a Canadian in Scotland, and you know, over there, man, they have tire irons, but they take their shit seriously. Plus, bloody hell, man, that was chicken shit. There. No, wait. Did I do it? Yeah, we don't need you yet. They see me rolling. They know riding dirty. They're trying to catch me riding dirty. That's the song I'm listening to now. They're trying to catch me riding dirty, yo. My music is so loud. They're hoping that they go and catch me riding dirty. Me riding dirty. Controller. Ola. Coca-Cola. It's not how it goes, but it rhymes with how it does go, you know. If you don't know the lyrics, why not just, you know, make it up as long as it rhymes with what the actual lyric is? I say you do that, then it's okay. I make the rules, so it's fine. I think it's 220. The even one. They see me rolling. And they're hating. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Yeah. Weird Al Yankovic did a version of this as well. Riding dirty. Called White and Nerdy. Great song. Video's awesome too. It's on YouTube. You should check it out. Trying to catch me riding dirty. I'm guessing it's going to be an even, let's say an even one. Feel the power. Knick knack paddywhack. Do-do-do-do-do. Integrity. Trolling and riding dirty. They're trying to catch me riding dirty. They're trying to catch me riding dirty, man. I didn't do nothing. All right, Your Honor. I was just, you know, minding my own business. And they came up to me and they said, like, hey, man, you're riding dirty. I'm not riding dirty. But they're trying to catch me riding dirty, but there's nothing to catch. Because I wasn't riding. And I wasn't dirty. Riding dirty. Just a minute. How does that look? Okay. Cool. Hey, look at my luggage coming along. I like it a lot. And okay, so we'll do it. You know, we'll do the black zipper because then we'll have the X, the white X in the middle. They're still trying to catch me riding dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty. My music's so loud and I'm swinging. They hoping they go and catch me riding dirty. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Dang it. Like, what the hell? I don't even have a license or a car. Oh, I don't know. I think it's that Fortunate Son or something. I'm like, just came on a or whatever. It's a song and it's awesome. You know what? If you want to be sure you don't go outside the line, you can just turn it into a mask. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Okay. Jiggy bop. Okay. And now we'll do a lovely X. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see how it sounds. The voice changer.
Okay, what do we hear? I can barely hear myself. I can barely hear myself. Well, I think I got the music blasting. Well, it's not blasting. I am a soul man.
Alright. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna need...
So, no.
How about this? No.
This? No. Right? Right? Right on. Right. I'm a soul man. Right? Right, I'm a soul man. I can still barely hear it. Let me turn on the music. Let me mute it for a second. How does that sound? It sounds like an old man. How does... No.
How about this? No, it sounds like a wee Scots boy.
Right? Right? No. How about this? No, you can barely understand me.
I can barely understand me. Alright.
Right, nope, turn it off.
There. Dang it. Oh, now it's louder. Can you turn the music back on? I paused it. Play it. Oh, it's the Gridiron Gang. It takes a while to start. Skip it then. Eminem. Tone deaf. I can't figure it out. The ego's fault. Itchy. Yeah, that's how that song goes. Okay, so the cross is gonna have to go under. Well, no, it won't, because the zipper part can be. Because it can, right? Red roof in. You know, it'd be better, kid, just to get rid of this. Because just get the thing. How big do we want it? Just make sure it's big enough before we do the thing. Because then everything's going to go all crapped out. Hey, but we could put something here at least to let the people know that it's a zipper. Oh, we need an edge on these things too. Okay, the X will have to go under the boxes of awesomes. The edge boxes. No, not there. Yeah, there. Inside. Oh, we're on the wrong thing there. This. Well, first let's put the these things under. turn the fan off. I'm getting chilly. Yeah. In other words, yeah. I'm a dancer. Oh, there you are. Bloody hell. I always forget the camera's there when I'm tuning. Or everything. Right. Okay. Now. So, May. Hey, how about that? But we're gonna. Oh no. I can't. There we go. How about be a wee quiet? How dare you? Oh, it's Big League Pizza. Tom Cochran. I'm listening to that now. That's what's playing. What a. Oh, what's with the glare? You saying I'm old, you bastard. You just need to see an edge, Mama Lennon. Calm the fuck down. Group of 5. Took shots till 8. Zibba-dibba-doo. Oh, well, we can at least change the color, but doing this is fine. He was gonna play in the big leagues. Ooh, no, wait, don't do that. It's gonna do the whole friggin' thing. Okay, for this, we gotta do this. Can you give me the code? Ooh, looks like he says 8 C's, looks like BC's. Yeah, it's a sign for the bad guys. To work on the bad guys. Yeah. Do. My boy is gonna play in the big leagues. My boy is gonna turn some heads. You know what else? He's gonna play in the big leagues and he's gonna knock him dead. That's right. Until one night, well, that's what was gonna happen. Until one night. Not funny. Scholarship in school on a big U.S. team. Out with this school, out with the girl. She was the high school, she was the school queen. They were driving. And then this truck hit them head on because it was probably like driving on the wrong road, like drunk. But the boy was going to play in the big leagues. My boy's going to knock him dead. This song makes me think of my hockey career. All 2 seasons of it. 2 years of it. 1 goal. 3 assists. 6 minutes in penalties. That was my career stats. Because I was a defenseman. You managed to get past me with that puck. I take my stick. I put the blade of my stick either around one of your ankles or into one of the holes of your skate. And I pull. Oh, my bad. 2 minutes? Oh, well. I did it 3 times. 2 minutes each, period. Penalty. Oh, yep. 3 kids got past me. Unacceptable. Knock 'em dead. You see, when I play like hockey video games, I always make myself a center, and always the center, and I'm always scoring all the goals. And I love it. I've won so many Stanley Cups. and I'm always number 6. Well, I try to be, you know, in the early games when you can make sure, like now when I play career mode. So I play only as my own player on the ice, and I don't control anybody else. Yeah. That's why I get all the goals. I'm a legend of one, and I wonder, like, all the Leaf, like, I don't want, like, here's the thing, I haven't played video game hockey. It's been a few months, and I'm currently playing for Florida, not by choice, but because that's where I was sent after my contract with Seattle ran out, and I won them 3 Stanley Cups. That's what I did. 3 Stanley Cups. You know why? Because Buffalo didn't pick me as first overall pick. They passed on me. Seattle picked me. And then it was when my contract ran out, and they were like, "Do you want to stay or leave?" I was like, "I want to leave, man." You know, I don't watch hockey, but you know, when I play the games, I prefer to play on Toronto because I'm a Toronto boy, Toronto guy. Right, let's give it a nice wee handle, and we're good with this. Okay, Mother landed. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, look, would you grab a handle, you weak bastard? That's what she'll be saying to Scott. Something like that. Look, it's the 3 grandsons. Oh, this song. Blind Melon, Great Escape. I remember this song was like before the internet, pretty much. Before viral was ever a thing. Like, this song went viral big time. Blind Melon. Ah, all I can say is that my life is that one. Like, as you know, as well as Nirvana and shit, but this one, yeah. The video as well, the kid in the bumblebee suit. Yeah. All I can say is that my life is pretty strange. Plain. I made a edited video to this song using my mage and one of my mages in one of my World of Warcraft runs. It was my Nerby the mage, Nerby the gnome mage. Made a music video to this song, having him dancing all over the worlds and shit. Only wearing his underwears. Yeah, Nerby the mage. Okay, Senator. Telling stories with the destructiveness of stories. There's luggage 1, Mama Landon. How's that look? Hey, let's see. Oh, that's gonna be lovely for Scott to carry. Maybe I should have Scott here. Let's see, because he's gonna be carrying it. No, he hasn't been here in a while. We're gonna open up. Scott Landon. Here we go. Let's see how this looks with it. Like what's like size wise. Because if I can make this adjustments now, it'd be lovely. Ooh, enter Sandman Metallica with the orchestra. Hey, what did you just do there? What did you just do? Right there. Ding, 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 ding. Didn't I copy this layer? Copy layer. Paste layer. Okay, so Scott Landon right now is at, he's at 100%. Okay, Mama Landon. Yeah, she's yeah, she should be. Well, I need now. We need. Give me a spoonie.
I need to see all characters at 100% with the luggage, so I know how. So I can judge now, so I don't have to make adjustments. Hopefully, when it's time to animate. So, congratulations, Spoonie Jim. You're the lucky Spoonie.
Say your prayers. It's a run. I don't know the lyrics except for, you know, yeah, I'm one of those Metallica fans. Okay, this is him at 100%. Bloody hell. So we need to bring Landon and company down to their size. Like, Mama needs to be their size. Scott is going to be taller. So Mama looks right. But how about a wee bit shorter for Mama? Wee bit. There we go. Hey, grab the friggin' handle, you bitch. Okay, so. Well, either way, I don't know why. I guess I'm just doing it to see how it looks, because we're going to end up adjusting it regardless, obviously. Put the luggage in front of him. What have you got in here? Oh, it's definitely not a dildo for your arse, bitch. Yeah. Hey, so there's luggage one. We'll save this a file overall in Mama Landon's folder. Mama Landon luggage. Okay. Now there. Y'all move. Luggage 2. We'll just copy this layer. It's just the beast under your bed. Come on now. Enter night. If you remember, it's not 3D. He's going to be so he'll have his arms out like that, and I guess or he can have it like. So there we go. They can be the same friggin' size. Damn it! Why not? There we go. So. Yeah, we'll just duplicate it here. So it's all centered, right? Everything, yep, it's all centered there. Center it there. Keep it this size. The Landons and Mama can leave. Okay, copy this layer and paste it. Call this one underneath luggage 2. Cool. Mama Landon's luggage is done. So we don't need that. Or this. Mama Landon, we don't need her anymore either. The portal, Landon luggage is done. Okay, here's the portal. Turn the music down. The song is awesome, but it's a little loud in my head. It's Trying to think to myself while Metallica and the symphony are being like, "No, man, enter the Sandman." I'm like, yeah, it's great, but come on, man. I'm trying to think. You can be a little louder, you know. There. Okay, see how this looks right now. It's Portal. Okay, well, I can at least, well, as I'm thinking, it's like, should it just be, okay, move Chebs, the other Chebs, move them. Like anything on the edge, you should just, I mean, it doesn't have to be, I mean, like here I am thinking, what does a real portal to an alternate universe look like? Like, come on, man. For all we know, a portal, a legit portal to another universe, can look like a giant human nostril filled with the bugs, for all we know, you know? Portal. No, just skip the song, man. It's like now they're thanking the crowd for coming and being happy. Oh, YouTube, beautiful day. Okay. Portal. I mean, it's only going to be temporary. I think it's going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Impressive enough as is. Like, whoa, look what he did. Whoa, look what they're doing. They're coming. Now they can come out of the portal, and then the portal can close behind them. So should I do a portal closing? Like I mean, it's only going to be the one portal, unless I do multiple and totally rip off Endgame. Because how many new Boobians are going to show up? Only 6. Bloody hell! And there's so bloody hell. I'm thinking of wow, but how many total Boobians are there? Bloody hell, dude. Oh, spoiler alert: the OGs may or may not survive. So let's assume it's another 6. Do 6 Boobians need more than one portal? I mean, if they do, all we do is copy and paste. But the thing is, when they come, are the portal's going to stay open? I haven't gotten to that part in the script yet. I mean, it'd be simple to freaking create the portals closing. Well, bloody hell, you want to see it close? Here's the portal closing. All right, thanks for coming, Chebs. So pretend Chebs is, no, not that Chebs. Pretend this Chebs has left the portal. All right, okay, you can close the portal now. All right, zip, there we go, it's closed. That's how you do it. It doesn't need to animate all fancy, so it's fine. So you don't overcomplicate things. The script is long enough as it is. I can only imagine how long it's going to take to sync the mouths for the finale. Yeah. Florida Panthers. They want me to win a Stanley Cup for them. I was hoping I'd get to choose which team I go to after my first contract expired, but I guess not. What the rules are, like if that's possible in the NHL, if you get to a certain age or whatever, or however long you've been there, you can now decide, hey, I want to play for this team. Agent, make it happen. That kind of thing. Portal and Soldier. 3D printer while we're thinking. Let me, where's the phone? It's on the couch. Just as the couch. It's on this chair, right? It's on the hammock. It's on the milk crate. Yep. I was right. The phone was on the pile of rags. No, I have a single seater comfy chair. I'd like to have a sofa. I'm tall, and I like to, just lay down and fall asleep watching TV. CapCut and these notifications, man. Yeah, oh, I said clear them all, did I not? Obviously not, because they didn't clear. All right, what is a 3D printer? No. 3D printer, what is it? What do they look like, basically? 3D printer feel. I like when they fill in itself. So there's some that look like big toaster ovens, and then some that look like a really small wrestling promotions entrance, ring entrance area, stage setup. I've seen those. I've seen that before somewhere. So yeah, we'll keep it simple. That's like that is the cheapest. Yeah, that one is $400. These ones that look like they're ovens or something, 1,200, 1,300. Yeah, so we'll go with the cheap one because it's going to be Uncle Frank who owns it. So we'll go with the cheap one. We'll go with the thing that looks like a. Let's make it simple. So basic wrestling entrance, another thing on the bottom, and what looks like a spotlight wire. So keep this thing open. All right. Let's make Uncle Frank's 3D printer. Let's bring Uncle Frank in. Yeah. Uncle Frank needs another folder in his folder. Got too much shit laying around. Uncle Frank. It's not called Uncle Frank 25. But he was edited on September 9th. That's obviously when we did his eyeballs. So cool. Look at Uncle Frank already smiling and ready to go. Ladies, come on out. Ladies. Oh, unfortunately, I don't have the ladies on this scene. Sorry, Uncle Frank, you don't get the ladies. Okay, so copy him over. And let him... So I need him here to inspire me as I create his 3D printer. Let it rock, let it rock, let it rock. See, I know the main lyrics, of a lot of songs, and that's pretty much it. To the world. So we'll just have the one wire, because I saw one wire here. So, and don't bother making any... Well, let me see the actual picture. I'm not actually looking at a picture of it. Just looking at a little thumb. Okay, and a wire there. So, keep that open. What the fuck? Oh, shut up. These fucking pop-up ads right in my face as I zoom in with my fingers. Okay, now. Rock! Rock! No, first build it, and then there was a thing with a little screen. I have to do the damn code every time. So yeah, so basically it looks like a friggin' food weight thing on top of a friggin' base with a friggin' reader on the side and a thing like that and a thing like that. All right, it looks like that shit. All right, so now Right, and then the wire went from underneath. So then it's gotta be, and then the wire can just come out from fueling the power. So 2 ups, 2 acrosses. So 2 pillars and 2 sticks, basically. Okay. Look at me not knowing nothing about all your freaking kids and your shite today, Sith. Have I seen the price of gold? No, I have not. We angle this like that. How's it doing? And how you doing? Yeah, let's make this like this. Okay, and make it go a little higher. I'm making a 3D printer. See how much the Switch 2 will increase in price? Well, luckily I have a bunch of games in my backlog. Things ain't cooking in my kitchen. Sing it. What the? Have you ever, or well, first, do you own, or have you ever seen a 3D printer in action, Seth? I've heard of them. I'm now pretty much looking at one for the first time because I need one for the finale. So I'm wondering if you ever seen them in action and like, can they really actually make, like I heard somebody that you can actually make, not that I'm interested, but I heard that somebody made a to go around, you know, banging people down obviously in the States. And I was like, you can actually make those with 3D printers? You've not seen it live? Okay. I've never have either. So 2 pillars and thingy, and then a wire, and the square and the pillar. So imagine I wonder how much those things are going to end up costing. Then again, you don't, how much of a thing are they? Like VR headsets have been a thing for a while, and they're not exactly, you know, as far as I know. I mean, I don't have cable for all I know. They're advertising them all over the place. Okay, and now we need 2 more tops. Okay, like that. Make it a little wee bit thinner and a wee bit wider. Gold. Gold. Anytime I think of gold and jewels, I think of the movie The Goonies. Gold. Gold. Oh, does it go past the pillars, this thing? The underneath one does, the top one no. Top one is kit connector. You have to use 3D printer software to modelize the shit you want to create. Like I can imagine, like what, like you obviously have to, like this. Okay, this one that I'm looking at. I mean, there's ones that look like, you know, big square ovens, and then there's this. I've seen this kind of thing before. So obviously, the little wires, I'm guessing, are spinning something out that is printing something. But what are they spinning out? And what is the most craziest? Like, can you make a friggin' legit car that runs totally made from a 3D printer? Is that possible? Like, can they do that shit? 3D printer. Not that I want one. But it's like, bloody hell. What are we doing? Why are people inventing this shit that nobody's ever going to be able to afford? I'll tell you why. To make sure we, like, you know, eat our vitamins or else, that kind of shit. Correct quality plastic fill. So it's okay. So it's like, obviously, yeah, it would have to be some kind of plastic. I guess that would harden, but not harden too quickly. But yeah, it's weird. The wire's like sewing machines with sewing threads. Wow. Plastic threads, yeah.
But I gotta wonder, has anyone made, I mean, obviously not the wheels, not the tires, but the body, maybe even the engine. Like, has anybody tried to make a car completely done via 3D printer? And if so, what's the furthest they've gotten? I wonder. Dude, just make your printer. Stop thinking about it because it's ridiculous. Now that one's gonna be this will be the inside of the thing. Well, needs two, so this one here will be the one that goes on the outside, so it's gotta be a little bigger, make it a wee bit thicker and wider like that, and wider like that. Okay, and then there's gonna need to be a square thing or something in the middle here. De-angle it, please. Nope, you can't make huge plastic pieces with 3D printers. Too expensive and time costly. I don't know, Sith. I would not put anything past those crazy Americans. Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of Mr. Beast. I've heard of him, but I have never seen any video of him. But when I'm at work and I'm on break and I go on the computer and I go on YouTube without logging in anything, that friggin' guy is on the friggin' front page all the time. And it's like today, there's this video that he released yesterday and it's already got like 17 million views and he's doing ridiculous shit. There was one where he rented out Disneyland to himself or something for his honeymoon or something. With like, so if there's people doing that, so I wouldn't put anything past any of those Yankees down, man. Auto manufacturers use huge molds of plastic and metals. Yeah. Let's use a 3D printer to make a 3D printer. How about that? Do this and we'll give it another little dabbly thing. Okay, make that like that. And then we'll shrink you down a wee bit. Okay, you go on top there. Okay, now you both as a group will go like this. Okay, we'll make you a wee bit bigger together. Okay, and then you're gonna need a pointy thing. Okay. Okay, so let's make it pointy. A little smaller. All right. That was barely half a roll out. Okay, and then we need our wire. Mr. B should be put 10 feet under. I don't know. 10 feet under a bag of popcorn. Right, Sith? Because nobody wants to get in trouble. Bag of popcorn, and if he makes it out, he wins $100,000 of his own money. The wire can go later. So what is it? Okay, so let me just. I mean, it's not going to look like this piece of shit. We're going to add some shading and shit and whatever. Of course, I freaking closed the picture because I'm a dumbass. But 3D printer. Images. That one. So obviously that thing is behind it. And we need a big thing on the end too. Of that one. And a little thing on the bottom of it. So a thing. Basically an L on the left. And a box on the right. L on the left and a box on the right. Don't close the picture, clown. An L on the left. Well, it could just be a little slip of something. So it could be another smallie over here. So take you. Come over here. Make you a little longer. Okay. There's the L. Okay. It's not, you can't see that it's an L because it's, you know, it's not 3D, but trust me, it's an L. That's right. And then over here, needed to be another box of something. Let's do that.
Oh, there also needs to be some connection for... Oh no, because that goes on top of that, yeah. Okay, then we just need the wire. So let's play with it for a little bit. Let's give it a save. This is going to be Uncle... let's call it 3D printer because it doesn't belong to him personally. It could be anybody's.
But we'll put it in the Uncle Frank folder since it's going to be debuting under Uncle Frank.
You see, Silicone is going to try to use Uncle Frank's 3D printer to create his AI robot army. That's why I need a 3D printer. You see, in my cartoon universe, a 3D printer is capable of creating a giant space robot army. And a close friend to Mr. Beast. I don't know. All I know is that, you know, there's someone named Mr. Beast and he's loaded. And he's one of them influencers, but I've never tried his. He has chocolate bars and shit, and I've never tried any of his shit because, you know, I don't buy that shit in water. Yeah, but we're old, man. I'm sure, you know, our parents didn't understand the popular shit in our day. Like, for example, like whenever I think of that shit, the first thing I think of, like, I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the parents when me and a bunch of the rest of us Gen Xers were just getting a kick out, laughing our asses off at Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead are two really dumb fucking cartoon idiots who are really dumb, and they were mega popular, and I'm sure that was just had the boomers scratching their heads, and still to this day do. So Mr. Beast is just something we don't understand, Sith, but we're not in that age demo anymore. We just got to deal with it. Yeah. Getting old. Getting old. Okay, we're gonna move and then move it all down. Bring it all down. How old are my parents? My mom, I believe, is 71. She was born in 54 in January. My dad is either, I think, like 77 or 78. Yeah, they're in their 70s. My mom, early 70s. Dad, late 70s. Yeah. That's going to go under. It doesn't matter where I put it as long as it's under the shit. So, there we go. It's like a jungle sometime. It makes me wonder how I think you give me number. I'm a singer. So does this part go? We'll assume this goes above the shit. So this bar will go underneath everything. Because it's an asshole bar. There you go. Double make sure it's underneath everything. Thank you. What song is supposed to be playing right now? I'm not hearing nothing. Oh, that song goes really long with nothing at the end. There we go. Your parents were in their 20s and late 20s and their 80s? When my parents moved here from Scotland, it was in, I was told that my mom was pregnant with me. So it was, if that's the case, then they moved here in 1975. And my mom was 75 when she had me. No, she was not 75 when she had me. It was 1975. She was 21 when she had me. And my dad was like, I guess 27 or 26 or 28. Post W2, yeah, my dad's dad, was in, I don't know what war, but he was military. I saw the pictures. I've seen the pictures. I know very little about my mom's parents. I don't believe I ever met her dad. And I met her mom. I have very, 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 very small, hardly remember, but yeah. But I also have a picture of me as a baby being fed by my mom's mom. Yep, she was 21. Okay, so now let's work on shades and shade. Shades and shade. Hey, Doctor Who. Can's vastly different today. Oh yeah, big time. I mean, not just culturally and shit, but bloody hell, just like the neighborhoods, like the buildings and stuff. I still go on Google Earth every now and then and look back at the old neighborhoods I lived in, and I'm just like, wow, just at the changes. I took a walk down there one time some years ago, 10 or so years ago, just to walk around. Visited my old junior high, you know, that kind of thing. It was just, wow, so much change. It's crazy. Like my junior high was it was a big, awesome building. I loved how it looked. It looked like a friggin' college, but for, you know, a small college, just how it looked. And it was only grades 7 and 8. Well, my first year. Second year, they started having adult learning programs in, like, you know, small portions of the building. Now it's like, you know, it's got grade, I think 4, 5, and 6, and all. So yeah, changes, man. That's what happens. Memories. Let's make this a wee bit darker. There we go, because why not? And shady, like Slim Shady. 275. And this is the story I was told by my dad, that when they came to Canada from Scotland, the plan was to go to Winnipeg so my dad could get work. So they landed in Toronto. This is what I was told. They landed in Toronto, and while waiting for their connection flight to go to Winnipeg in the province right next to this one, Ontario, my dad found out that the job market for welders was a lot better in Toronto, in Ontario, where they already were. So they decided to stay. That's the story. So I could have been a Winnipeg guy, you know what I mean? Instead of a Toronto guy. Why didn't he go to USA? Good question. I never thought of asking them that. Maybe. Remember, well, my dad's dad was military. Maybe they chose not to go to America because America, you know, war, Vietnam, war, and maybe that's why. My dad probably didn't want to risk getting involved. Well, they probably couldn't have drafted him as an immigrant. I don't know what the rules were. Winnipeg? No. Winnipeg. Oh, let me spell it. Winnipeg. Yeah. Winnipeg. Okay. I'll give it some shading. Yep, Winnipeg. It's gonna go this way. 3 or 0, man. It's gonna go 0. Right? Honey, your shade. And lessen the blur. There we go. Cool. 5 and 2. Lovely. I do have a small Winnipeg.
And you know what? I'm fine with it. Because for all I know, I mean, if there's such a thing as alternate universes, and that's one thing, as I've said before, that I like to think about, the possibilities that there is an alternate universe Nerby with a large Winnipeg. And I wonder what he's doing with it. What he's doing, what kind of life is he living? This is going around. Yeah, it has to go above it. Yep. So we'll make this. You know, we'll make it the same as that up there. And shaded, cool. But can you notice it on here because it is thicker? Well, it's gonna be ultimately made down smaller. What's the point of a large Winnipeg unless you do corn? Well, I don't know. I mean, like some. I remember I was listening to a podcast. I heard this on a pod. I forget which one, years ago, and it got me thinking. That could be true. That it wasn't until adult education came out that people that a lot of women discovered that, you know, that Winnipegs come in different sizes. I think that the families that had the ones that had the largest families, you know, probably, you know, having a large Winnipeg is one of the reasons. So, yeah, maybe there's some dudes out there who just don't want to, you know, get involved in the corn industry, you know, growing that corn, you know, there's too much corn. Everybody wants to grow corn. This will be its own color as well. You don't think it's that? I don't know. Who knows? But that's the type of things I like to think about, you know. Why? You know, why this, why that? What about this? Like, what is it? Okay, let me. Problem is, you have to lose your dignity also. Oh, yeah, that too. Well, there's 8 billion people on the planet. You know, not everybody thinks alike. Some people have no problem doing that. But yeah, I was just going to say, what are your thoughts, like, based on what you've read and everything? Like, I've not read anything. I don't know what the official story is. So, what do you think is the story behind Stonehenge? Like that big ensemble of rocks in wherever it is, Norway or whatever. What do you think that is? How did it get here? How was it made? Like, what is it? Like, what do you think it is? Like, you have a lot of, you know, stances and theories on history, and a lot of them are really freaking interesting. So I'm wondering what you think of this. Stonehenge. Let's keep this at that and give it shading. Because here's what I've heard. I've heard that it's a clock left here by an alien race before we all got here. Like some kind of monument. I've heard that it's a clock. I've heard that it's a calendar. I obviously don't know because I've only been alive for 49 years. Stonehenge is in northern England. Well, that's where it is. That's where that thing is with all the rocks. Oh yeah, that's it. Because I'm thinking of the game, the Assassin's Creed game. You go from Norway to England. That's right. It's in England. It was probably an old temple. Could have been that.
An old temple dedicated to a stone. But then again, is it called Stonehenge because we call it Stonehenge, or did the people who built it, like, was a message left behind saying, this is Stonehenge, you know? That kind of shit. The rumors was used for human sacrifice. Wow. Stonehenge. That kind of stuff. Like that kind of history and thinking of what it could be, even if it might not be, but not too ridiculous, you know? Could it be aliens that maybe one day will be back? Like, what if it's a marker? Like, you know how in the animal kingdom, lions will mark their territories by pissing on something, leaving their scent. What if the Stonehenge was discovered by a really evil space dictator, left it as a marker, and here we are, and look what we've done to it. We've turned it into a tourist area. People didn't have a writing system as far as we know. Yeah, even that cave people times. Like, if we find all our drawings and stuff, did they do those drawings with the intent that they would be discovered by the future generations? Like, did they have that kind of mindset? Were they smart enough to think that, like, hey, let's draw in these caves so people who in the future will learn about us? Or were they just like bored, so they just drew on the cave, on the walls? Yeah. Stonehenge could be above 6,000 years old. Yeah. I mean, who knows any of this stuff that we're coming up with, man? Like, I still haven't heard nothing about the recent findings under the pyramids. And that stuff is like, wow, like bloody mayonnaise. I've heard so many different theories about the pyramids. I made that like that. Shade it a wee bit like that. A wee bit light. And blur it down. And offset it low. Stonehenge. How do we know any of this shit? You have some theories that Stonehenge was built by humans with advanced anti-gravity tech. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. I think the movie Stargate, like, made me come up with this theory that, like, long ago, humans or whatever species were advancing and advancing, but they were getting overworked by their overlords, and then the workers decided, you know what, we're sick of this shit, and they riz about, like, and then we went on to become a bunch of lazy asses. Like, maybe that happened. Some guys say that old humans were more advanced than that's what I'm actually trying to say. So you're saying it better than I am. Maybe that's true. Maybe, because look at some of the stuff, and that seems like, how did they make this with what we think, like, with primitive equipment? Well, do we know they had primitive equipment? Maybe the workers were like, screw this shit, and rebelled and destroyed everything, including the blueprints, and said, we're not going to do this. We're just going to friggin' do our shit. And now we've become what we are now. Like, let's say that happened. Imagine how much more advanced we could be now. Maybe there actually could be a Wakanda. Who knows? Body motherfucking count. How did they build the Great Pyramids? I have no idea. I've heard the theories. I wasn't there.
You see, that's what, now that I think about it, that's why it doesn't seem fair. Like there's something about being taught history in school that doesn't seem fair now. Because who's to say you're wrong about anything? Who's to say that what you're being taught is even right? About ancient history, you know, stuff that, you know, nobody, that we have no friggin' pictures of, no video, no nothing. We're just going by cave drawings and shit we find in the dirt. How do we know all that shit is friggin' real? So that's why they're, you know, fine, have school, go to school for that, but don't friggin' don't tell people on a final exam, no, this is wrong. It wasn't giant ancient rock monsters who shat out giant piles of rock shit that we call mountains. Well, you weren't there. Maybe that's the case. You weren't there, were you? Maybe that's what our mountains are, giant piles of rock shit. Hence the thrill core. That's what the thrill core is, Sith. The thrill core in my cartoon universe. You see this? This is the thrill core. This is a giant ancient rock monster that ate everything in sight and shat out rocks that we now call mountains, like Mount Fiji. It's one of my crazy theories. So who's to say this isn't true? Were you there? Were you there, Sith? Were you there to see Mount Fiji form, Sith? I wasn't. How do you know that it wasn't a thrill core? You know, modern tech can make those huge stone blocks. Oh yeah. Like according to like Jin's book and, you know, the Bible and stuff. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's, you know, correct or anything. I'm just saying that's what the book says. And according to the movie, what is it? The 10 Commandments, which is a long, boring ass fucking movie. Like they made, apparently all the bricks of the pyramids was made from straw and mud, apparently. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not a archaeologist and I don't know about stone, so I don't know. You know, the Great Pyramids have the vast underground they found that recently. I heard they found that recently. On top of what they found previously. I want to know more about that shit. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, but also it's gonna have to be moved. I'm also gonna have to, I just realized this now, I'm gonna have to animate it. So some of these parts are gonna have to be separate. No, they're gonna have to be separate. Yeah, they are. Well, let's make the printer that we can copy and paste shit and make it separate because I'm awesome. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so it'll just be basic enough. So we'll give this a little bit of. The pyramids are made of 10 tons of stone rocks, bro. Oh yeah, but how were the rocks made? Like, how are they carved into those shapes and shit? You know, how are the rocks? You know, they didn't find, you know, those rocks just buried under the ground. They were made. How were they made? I've heard stories about how they're made. They could be true. I don't know. I don't say they're not true. I don't say they're true. I just like, wow. I like thinking about stuff like that and wondering about how things really happened and coming up with ridiculous shit. Not that the thrill core is ridiculous, but you know. The rocks were carved almost perfectly. Exactly. You wasting time thinking about that shit. Just here. Select none. Okay, we'll make this no. That. No. Yes, that. And fix the shading a bit. I'll just go like there, like that. No. You'll blur it less. There we go. Blur it less because it's smaller. There we go. And fix that and move the shading. The pyramids. Like the game Assassin's Creed Origins takes place in ancient Egypt and has that tour where you can learn shit. I want to do that shit. See what they say. All the pyramids, because
They have a tour where you learn about the pyramids. So I want to. So what does Ubisoft say? The pyramids, about the pyramids and shit. Pronouns. Okay, you can be there. Always save your work. What other, unknown things have we discovered and we just come up with? Like, there's the pyramids, there's Stonehenge. What else have we discovered that we don't know, like, how they got here? Or we come up with stories. What about Atlantis? Is Atlantis real? There. Mm. 270. Marshall, he's the Antichrist. He will slice and dice children. His name is Marshall. What other things, man? What about planets? Another thing I like to think about is, like, there's nothing up on Mars and shit right now, but there's a wind, some kind of wind blowing. There's shit blowing around. So what's happening? What does it sound like right now? Mars. Of course, Mars is a giant planet. It sounds different everywhere. Mars. But that square thing they found. My theory, if, like, assuming the pictures are legit, let's pretend they're legit. My theory is that it was a base being built by a life form that discovered the planet long before we arrived there. And they stopped building the base real early because it was either costing too much or some other reason. Mars is small, still a big planet. Mars. Planets. And what was it? Jupiter? Maybe even Saturn. Some planets aren't even actually, they're just big giant balls of gas, apparently. You can fall right through them. Well, you'd die, obviously, but let's assume you wouldn't. Or let's assume a rock. You can just drop it from the North Pole of Jupiter or Saturn to the bottom without touching nothing. Mars is all continents. Mars is as big as all continents combined with no water. Mars. I once did a science project. It was in the 5th or 6th grade. Jupiter not entirely gas? Right on. Jupiter's got that big storm too. Like, damn. You ever see pictures? I'm sure you have seen pictures and video or whatever of Jupiter up close. Just the detail. Like, holy crap. It's amazing. My theory. I have so many theories about the planets that are probably wrong, but damn it, I like the... Here's a theory. All right. Let me pause this Eminem song. Okay. We'll go till 6 p.m. my time. That's another 30 minutes unless I decide to go longer. Okay, I have theories about planets, and they're probably wrong. But possibilities. All right? Possibilities. Mars. Maybe even other planets closer to the sun, like closer to the sun than we are, had life on it, but as the sun got bigger or whatever, and the planets got closer to the sun, the life just extinguished. Maybe not life long enough to build anything, but yeah. Mars, my theory is that Mars had life on it, and it was abundant when it was close enough to the sun to support it. But eventually it got just too far away from the sun as the galaxy gets bigger, and it can no longer support life. And then all of a sudden, Earth entered that area of orbit where it could support life. And one day, we're going to be kicked out of it. And then, what's the next closest planet? Is it Venus? Venus will then get further away from the sun and get into our orbit. And Venus will then support life. And then they will make spaceships, fly to Earth, find all our shit, and then they'll come up with shit. That's my theories. Yeah. I'm sure they're wrong, but yeah. It's cool to use the brain for cool shit. What do we do with this? Make this like that. And give it a little thing for a screen. Just copy and paste it on itself. Oh, anyway, I was saying, in the 5th or 6th grade, my science project, because there was a science fair every year, my science project, I think it was grade 5, was the solar system and all the planets and talking about them. So I bought a bunch of styrofoam balls of different sizes, painted them a real crappy job painting them. And then rather than actually looking up any info on any of the planets, all I did was look up the names, look up in what order they were, and then I made a bunch of shit up. Right? One thing that I said about all the planets, and I can't believe I got a friggin' A- overall grade. I said that all the planets as a whole weighed something. And at one point, this is when I was making it, and my mom comes up and asked me about it, and I told her about it, and I said, well, for paraphrasing, I don't know exactly what I said, but along the lines of, the planet Venus weighs about 10,000 pounds. And then she corrects me and says, a car weighs about 10,000 pounds. It weighs a lot more than that. So then I just made up a bigger number. That science fair project was totally fucking made up bullshit, and I got an A- because of all the work I put into it. Oh my god. Yep. I'm sure the teacher was probably just like, he'll learn eventually one day. At least he's trying to do, something. At least he's putting some work into something. He's not showing up with a freaking saying his dog ate his homework. Yeah, actually, this should be down. And this actually, yeah, that's right. This should be over. We need to move this. We first move this over. And it needs to be behind. So yeah, right here. And put it behind that thing too. Move this over as well. It needs to be. Hey. Move it. There. Yeah. The dumb bullshit we come up with when we're kids, man. Yeah. The planet Jupiter, because it's the biggest of the planets, weighs about 20,000 pounds. I'm an idiot. I'm sure it was 5th grade, so it would have been Ms. Schneer. Ms. Schneer. Ms. Schneer. It was a weird name. Yeah. My science fair project. Here's my planets. Now give me an A+ or I'll cry. You'll put that there. Yep, cool. Then above it, because why not? Been almost centered. Just feel the power. Don't worry, we're taking all the shit apart and making it into, yeah, but still, I want to see it assembled. Let me argue with myself, clown. And that's fine. On top of it. Very good. Well layered. Good. Well, very well layered, Nabby. Thank you. Yep. Okay, so now these can come in a little more. Actually, no, these go right in here, yeah. Because they're going to be plugged into the top. Okay. Then we'll put this underneath that. Okay. It's done something with? No, do something with it. Shaded. Well, one blur. A one blur. Right. And give it a one offset. Just a little thing. There you go. Make it like that. Always save your work. I think I'll continue watching Game of Thrones season 7 tonight, man. That show is 8 seasons. And seasons 1 through 7 are fucking awesome. As soon as the what is it? The big Grave Walker battle is done. And then after Daenerys does her shit at King's Landing, then the show is just totally fucking downhill. And I think it might be the very last episode that is the only well, other than the friggin' almost every episode of season 8 being dark as fuck because, well, it's winter, so it's going to be dark. As far as lighting, not like, oh my god, it's so dark. No, like I can't see shit dark. That's that dark. Okay. So there's our 3-dimensional printer. Center everything. Sorry, Uncle Frank likes his new 3-dimensional printer. Okay, give it a save. So yeah, so tomorrow we'll continue unless, you know, aliens suddenly show up and ask us what the fuck we did with Stonehenge. We'll continue this and more. We gotta separate stuff into different layers and we gotta animate this part. So that'll be nothing really simple. Well, then we don't have to do that. We do it as we friggin' animate the actual tune because it's just gonna be a case of moving left, right, left, right, left, right. I'm guessing. Maybe not even left, right. There's littles and bigs and little. I don't know. I don't know how they work. I should look it up on YouTube how they look, how they work. These ones. Uncle Frank. I mean, of course, we need to change the background for the portal. Have them coming from something. Somewhere. Well, I guess since Mama Land is showing up, maybe I guess they'll be coming from Scotland. I guess I need a Scottish background or something. Well, she doesn't have to be coming from Scotland. It could be one of her connecting flights. They're one of her connecting portals. So could have she portaled from Scotland to wherever this is, and then from here to Brainstorm World. We'll see. Anyway, cereal and grape juice. I am Nary all over the world. Let's thank Sith for showing up, lending us his opinions on Stonehenge and as well as other ooh and ah inspiring thoughts. Back tomorrow, as I said, unless aliens show up or whatever. The usual shit. Until next time, do stuff.